But you wash that all away with Gain, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, no, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever. Now with odor-fighting power. New Gain Plus with Oxy.
Sniff the difference. Gain.
The burrito is fire.
Hi, this is Maya.
And I'm Antonio. And the little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A hash brown scrambled burrito
Is that it fuels our morning.
it's the full package.
You have the chicken, you have the eggs, and then you add these hash browns for a nice little crunch.
The chicken's always nice. It's crispy, it's juicy. And the cheeses, they melt together in a beautiful way.
And it gives me energy. It's perfect.
Order the Chick-fil-A Hash Brown Scramble Burrito and Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Introducing Wrangler Tough Light Jeans. The cowboy cuts you know and love. Now up to 20% lighter. Because lighter isn't a compromise. It's a better way to wear denim. Wrangler Tough Light. Tough jeans just got lighter.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And we cut to size. Because just like taxes and BS, we think metal is better when cut. Metal Supermarkets, the convenient stores for metal. Find a store or shop online at metalsupermarkets.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, don't worry about me, I called ART.
Traffic. There are no major incidents, but watch for construction on Kellogg in both directions between Topeka and Oliver Streets. Watch for intermittent lane closures. From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, that's your Odyssey Wichita traffic.
Weather. Good morning. We'll see a few showers and storms as we start today. Otherwise, partly cloudy, hot and humid. A high of 98, but it will feel like 105 or higher. Scattered storms this evening, then mostly clear overnight, low 77. Mostly sunny, breezy, and hot on Friday, high 95. Much cooler on Saturday with a high in the upper 80s. Then we fall into the 60s on Saturday night. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
Basically, get out of the way.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
It's weird to win a Super Bowl. It's weird to have a couple of, 13-win seasons, and you still aren't sure about Sam Darnold. Like, did they win because of him? Did they win with him? He might be that guy who's got to keep doing it again and again until he's done with his career.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan and the Danettes and you.
Weekdays from 11 until 2 on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
I love listening to play-by-play games on KFH radio.
Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH Wichita, KNSS HD2 Clearwater, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Hey Wichita, it's Jacob Albrock. Stay right there for the latest breaking in sports talk. It's Sports Daily coming up next, exclusively on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Brad Evans in the beat the Bullets in Westwood Sports. Last call for MVP, that plus money. The Cubs center fielder is firmly number one overall in WAR and defensive rating in the bigs. With Shohei Ohtani ailing due to knee and bicep issues, PCA for 35-35 season takes home the NL MVP at plus 105. Hashtag Team Huevos. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
I feel awful for the skill position guys on the Atlanta Falcons. Michael Penix is hurt to start camp, and on Wednesday, Tua Tagovailoa came up with a tight back, and now he's hurt. The team signed Cooper Rush. Their quarterbacks right now are Cooper Rush and Jack Strand. I've never heard of that second person. How can you expect anybody on the team to get better when those are the two guys that are running the offense right now? I'm Denton Day.
You got to download the app.
Gotta get the Odyssey app. 97.5 and 1240 KFH. Listen live on the Odyssey app.
If you don't like your job, you just go in every day and do it really half-assed. That's the American way.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
Look at me! I'm a worthless employee! Give me a promotion!
Oh, good idea, boss.
You disgraceful vagabonds!
All right, welcome in, everybody, to Sports Daily. Jacob Albrocht here, Brady Bowman there, in for TJ today. Max Power, pushing the buttons, cutting us those intros up each and every day here. We're glad to have you over the air on KFH. You can call us at 869-1240. Email us at sportsdaily@kfhradio.com. Glad to have you with us on 12 News Connected, on Facebook, on YouTube, on X. If you have us on social, you can leave your comments right there on the social platforms. We get those right here on the air to us. You can also send us voice messages if you're listening on the Odyssey app. On the Odyssey app, you can hit the little microphone, send us a voice message. We can also get those out over the air. Lots of ways to get in touch with the show as we are rocking and rolling into a little bit of a show change next week. We'll get TJ back tomorrow. Then next week, we move from to 8 to 11, all live, all ready for you to call in and be a part of the show. We've got a bunch of guests lined up as we make our way into the fall. Brady will be here each and every day. Brady, you excited? You ready for this?
Oh, how could I not be, Jacob? I mean, this is it's something I've always enjoyed doing, and I'm glad for the opportunity to do more of it.
Couple radio guys here, a few, I should say, and we'll be having fun with you each and every day. Again, that starts Monday. We are compiling a guest list I think people will be really excited about, and these will be, recurring guests, even more so than we've been able to bring you before. So it'll be a lot of fun, and we will be ready to rock and roll, but we'll get one more day of TJ tomorrow. TJ will still be a part of the show from time to time, so I'm not losing him completely, but a couple show changes again. Programming notes, if you might, will start tomorrow. We've got plenty to get to today, though. We have the Jayhawks Hoops alumni team fall last night in Kentucky. So that'll be the end of our local interest in the TBT. Watch the championship game on Sunday if you must. But for us, with the Aftershocks, with Purple Rain, and now with JHX Hoops all out of the tournament, that means nobody will claim that $2 million prize there. So that happened last night with the Royals get a nice win last night after blowing a win the night before. They continue to play well post All-Star break as we get nearer and nearer the trade deadline. Time's ticking. I mean, they may not make the blockbuster moves, but there are some moves they'll need to make. We'll get into that. Chiefs training camp is underway in full, and we will dig in a little bit. Not terribly exciting news or information coming out yesterday. It's kind of the first day they get everybody prepared, and they say, we love St. Joe, and we're so glad to be here. And, the fans will come out there today. But we're starting to get things rocking and rolling into the nitty-gritty of the realities of training camp. As we move into these weeks before the fall, Brady and I will spend a lot of time in the NFL and sort of previewing things, had some time to digest the offseason moves, and we've gotten our injury updates, quite a few now. So we'll dig into all of that starting next week probably, but we'll talk some Chiefs today as well. Our guy Tim Fitzgerald, our K-State insider, will join us in the next hour. So we'll have him in to discuss all things K-State, maybe to give his thoughts on these maybe final pushes to get this piece of college legislation across. We'll spend time with this today. It's interesting. The deadlines imposed yesterday were not hit, but there is still some, if you believe the reporting, some slight optimism that some things could happen here down to the deadline. It's so funny. When you get it to Washington, it turns into what always happens in Washington, and you have curveballs thrown in at the last minute that nobody knew. And it's so funny seeing like quotes from these commissioners. They're like, how are we supposed to react to something we haven't seen before?
And I'm like, oh, welcome to Washington. They do this
Right.
stuff all the time. Like, all right, everybody's in agreement. Well, here's this last thing we're going to cram in there on the final page. Vote now. Nobody read it. Just vote. That we get that kind of stuff in there too. So I don't know whether they'll make it to this deadline to get it voted on before the recess, which I believe comes next week. So we'll see. We'll get you the latest there, though. There is quite a bit out there this morning as the conferences and the school presidents were working furiously yesterday to try to get to where they want it to be on everything. So we have all of that for you. It's all what's on tap here on Sports Daily, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company. Your summer spot. Pizza and apps, a whole group will love. Seasonal beers, a full cocktail menu for the adults, and new dirty sodas and homemade root beer that keep the kids happy. WB, see you this summer at Wichita Brewing Company. Brady, how are you this morning?
I'm ready to roll. It's Cali County Fair time here in Winfield. So it's a big time of the year around these parts.
Have I been to the Cali County Fair? Of course, we spend time at the Kansas State Fair every year. I don't know. I can't recall in my days of being on the streets every day as a news reporter if I spent any time at the Cali County Fair. I know I was at some event in Mulvane one time.
I think that's that one. Is that the Old Settlers? Is that
probably?
What
I think that's
right. Yeah.
I believe that's correct.
That's a pretty big one too.
Yeah, it's hard because I grew up in an area where you have all of these small town events, just like you do here, and so it's like doubling the load there of what I'm supposed to remember for every small town. I don't remember things particularly well these days, so I can't. But I don't remember if I went to the Cali County Fair. I'm a big Winfield fan though. Hope shout out to everybody out there in Winfield listening to us, likely on the app as our signal. I'm not sure if it ranges all the way to your hometown. We've had this question before. Quick programming note: if you ever have trouble with the signal, two things. I tell people this all the time. One, my favorite way to listen around the Wichita area, if you have an HD radio, is go to 98.7 and listen on HD2. You will get banging audio if you do that. It sounds great. Best way the show sounds anywhere. And then if not, you've always got the old AM dial, 1240. That sucker will go forever. AM radio, baby. It'll go forever. So
do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite type of fair food, Jacob, or a fair drink that's like, if I'm going to a fair, I have to get this?
I do every year, two things every year when I go to the Kansas State Fair, because we spend time up there for KWCH. I will always get a gyro or a gyro, as I like to call them. There's a Greek guy who brings his truck in every year. It's fantastic. Highly recommend it. And then I'll get street corn, not street corn, but corn on the cob. Corn on the cob. It's always right across the road from our booth. So I always grab a corn on the cob and a gyro when I go. I don't get as much into the fried stuff because it makes me feel terrible. I've had the buttered noodles at the fair. What do they call it? Not buttered noodles, chicken noodle. Forget what they call it now, that the sweet ladies cook down at like the main building. But as far as like, I'm going to have a deep fried Twinkie, I can't do it, man. I feel terrible when I eat that stuff. I'll eat the meat stuff. Like if it's meat stuff, meat on a stick or something like that, then I'm in on it. I really would like to have, they have like a donut sandwich, I think would be really good. But I kind of keep to what I know now. That gyro is one of my favorite things. I look forward to that every year when the fair comes, because I know I'm going to pop over there and grab one. But those are my two at the fair foods. You?
Yeah, that's up there. Every now and then I'll never have the whole thing, but I'll share what's it? It's fried with the powdered sugar on it. I'm blanking here.
Funnel cake.
Funnel cake, yeah.
Yeah.
Funnel cake. And of course,
what's a funnel cake?
Cherry limeade. If I see a good cherry limeade stand, I am there.
Okay. Yeah, cherry limeades are good. I don't, I'm good with whatever. I wish when we went for 12 News, what I really want is all the beer gardens. I want a beer. Like walking around on the hot asphalt, an ice cold draft beer sounds fantastic. Of course, we can never have that, so it's usually just water for me out at the state fair.
Sure.
All right, we'll come back. We'll dig in. Where do we start? Lots of options today, probably with the latest on the college sports stuff. We'll get into it. We'll kind of tell you where things stand. As one outlet reports, not dead, not done, but time is not an ally. So we'll get into it when we return on Sports Daily.
If you bleed purple, this is your station. 97.5 and 1240 KFH, Kansas fan headquarters, brings you K-State insider Tim Fitzgerald of GoPowerCat.com every Thursday morning on Sports Daily. Basketball, football, everything Wildcats. Thursdays on KFH, Wichita's most listened to sports radio. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The Odyssey Summer Concert Series continues Friday night with live music from Annie Up at the Capitol Federal Amphitheater in Andover. Pack your lawn chairs, bring your friends and family, and enjoy a free night of live music under the stars. Gates open at 6:30. The music starts at 8, and all ages are welcome. The Odyssey Summer Concert Series is brought to you by Rock and Brew Casino and the City of Andover. For the clear bag policy and prohibited items list and all other details, visit kfhradio.com.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Are you looking for a podcast about pro football that doesn't put you to sleep with an avalanche of analytics or insult your fandom with brainless hot takes? Well, hi. I'm Dan Hansis.
And I'm Mark Sessler.
Oh, hi, Mark. And we're the hosts of Heed the Call, the NFL podcast you've been waiting your whole life for.
Heed the Call covers every game, every storyline, everything that matters, and we do it all with a touch of mirth.
Football is fun. Why shouldn't your football podcast be the same?
Follow and
lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30. KFH.
Welcome back in, everybody. Glad to have you with us here. Longhofer Lawn and Tree Care, celebrating 60 years in Wichita, providing expert lawn care for a healthy lawn, tree and shrub care, and bedweed control since 1966. Longhofer Lawn and Tree Care. Glad to have you with us here on Sports Daily. We've got several things to get to here. We've got thoughts on the trade deadline from various outlets and places that what the Royals might be thinking we can dig into a little bit. But I want to start, Brady, with this college sports news. I don't know where you left off yesterday. It's kind of the reporting is, there's not been anything new that I've seen overnight necessarily. But where things ended yesterday are interesting, if nothing else. We talked yesterday on the air and we knew that they weren't going to hit this 8 or 9 a.m. deadline that they had kind of, that they've kind of imposed. And it's like, well, what does that actually mean? So I don't know. I think, Brady, there is always a last minute nature to these things, right? Like where these things land, feel like they almost always, when it comes to Congress, fall to the very last second. Ross Dellinger reports early this morning that lawmakers sent conferences a, quote, last and final version of the Protect College Sports Act. That came down around midnight. They revised the key sections and set a new 10 a.m. deadline. Now, I'm going to guess that's East Coast time, so probably here, before 9 a.m. for the leagues to agree to it. The Big Ten and SEC have set afternoon president's calls for a vote. But again, if there's a 9 a.m. deadline, how does that work with afternoon calls? There's no more negotiation or back and forth expected. Unclear what happens if and when the leagues don't meet that deadline. And one source tells Ross Dellinger, one of his sources, quote, pencils are down. It's take it or leave it. It must be sent to the majority leader, John Toon, today to have a chance to reach the floor for a vote next week before that month-long recess. Now, if the SEC and Big Ten get behind it, he says, many believe this will pass. The revised bill strengthens language in an attempt to close the loopholes so many schools are using to circumvent the salary cap, a certification process for athlete deals brokered by the media rights partners that would basically keep a redirection of media rights money to go into just paying players. That's been the major holdup at the end of this. It's what a lot of people have wanted. It's probably the most complicated. I can kind of understand that. So that's where we stand, Brady. It looks like they get there. Here's our final offer. Take it or leave it. 9 a.m., yet the conferences aren't scheduled to talk to their presidents about it until this afternoon. So how do we, peel back the onion on what we would think? I would believe that it's probably a take it or leave it. I don't believe in that deadline. I believe that, maybe they still have a chance to talk to everybody this afternoon and basically say they support or do not support this bill. But we'll see. That's the latest this morning on everything as far as timelines go.
Yeah, it's Washington. I mean, of course, anytime I hear about any of our elected officials, like, we gotta get this done because we gotta go on our break, I'm like,
well,
you guys get plenty of wild time, but
a month off, okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, how about just 3 weeks?
The last time you saw a month off professionally?
Oh, I don't think I've ever had a month off professionally.
I don't think I have either. I'm about to give it a shot with this next baby. I'll have a paternity leave. Of course, I'll be on the radio. I'm not going to take the full paternity for the radio because I can do that from home. But
and that's a good reason to be off.
Like, I get it, but I get it. Like, I just do your job, maybe. I don't know why we have such harsh deadlines on this. Why can't we vote like, I don't know, tomorrow, today?
Yeah. I think it's just so hard though too, because especially with the war kind of flaring up again, it just feels like out of everything going on right now, and you got midterms around the corner, the focus in Washington is elsewhere. I mean, I'm glad to hear that there's still some elected folks who are still trying to focus on this and push it across the finish line, because like we've talked about, like you've talked about a lot, Jacob, there's some things with the Protect College Sports Act or whatever version of it they're going to do that everybody agrees on across the board, mainly getting some regulation on the transfer portal and those sort of things. You would think that just those few things that everybody agrees on, like the simplified bill that we talked about last week with
Tuberville's bill.
Yeah, Senator Tuberville out of Alabama. Those are, you would think that like, okay, can we just agree on that? Can we? And that's frustration for me.
But Washington never works that way, which is
part
of
exactly.
The reason Tommy Tuberville put that out, to kind of sort of highlight the fact that, like, we could just do the part of this that everybody wants,
right,
and then deal with the rest later, basically. But Washington never works that way.
No, on all sorts of issues, that predicament happens all the time, where you're thinking like, well, everybody agrees on this part. Can we just separate that out and then visit the rest later? But
they don't do it because there's always special interest involved.
Absolutely.
Have you ever had to serve in any capacity that's like procedural like this, where you have to have like the obvious thing is right there in front of you, but you have to go through these procedures and things to try to get to this obvious thing? I have in some capacities. It's infuriating for a man of little patience like I am. Like, why are we going through all of this stuff just to do the thing that we know needs to be done that we could get done in 5 seconds? Like, why do we have to go through all of these official and technical things to get there? It drives me crazy. And this is one that, if I was involved, would be driving me crazy, would drive me absolutely insane. There are parts of this everyone just universally and easily agrees on. Why can't they just get that stuff done? And to your point on everything happening, midterms, a war, all of these things, I've said this from the very beginning. If you were a politician paying for endless political ads right now, why wouldn't you want the easy,
an easy win? Yeah.
The easy down the middle off speed pitch that is coming, that you can hit out of the park in your political ads. Senator something or other voted yes to save college sports. Say thank you to Senator whatever for saving college sports. Like, we see this. Remember when the Chiefs stadium got announced? It became a quick fight about who was going to take the most credit for the Chiefs
for sure.
stadium.
Oh yeah, in the state. Yeah.
Well, I'm the one who, you had this great like bipartisan effort to move mountains to get this done quickly and everything, and then at the end, and then after it's done, everyone's like, "Oh, I did it. It was me. I did it. It was all me. Thank you very much. I did it." We're going to compete for who says the most at the announcement. Like, it was so stupid, and you could see it coming a mile away. And we haven't even reached. That's the crazy part of this bill, Brady. We haven't even reached that part yet, right? We're still just trying to get it completed, and I think the challenge is, and I've probably given a little too much grief to the Big Ten and the SEC for this, like not being able to just simplify this and get everybody what they need, and worrying too much about the thing, because it is like the challenges and the conflicts now come into how much money can we make, right? And how much control are we going to give somebody else over how much money we can make at the end of the day? There are universal parts of this that everybody wants, that they could pass right this second, that would get like 100% of the vote probably. But there's this other stuff that has to be crammed in for some reason. That's why I've come around to the Tuberville bill. Let's just do the parts we all want. Let's just get that done. You guys can do whatever you want with the rest. And I don't know if it's the government's responsibility to tell a conference how many members it can have or what it can do with its multimedia money. I don't know. That's hard. Now, the other challenge to it all is we need Congress involved to try to solidify the things that the college athletics keeps getting sued for. So it's not as simple as we'd like it to be, as I would like it to be, because they have to figure out this part, the court issues that they keep facing. But now you've got, and I get it. If I was the SEC and the Big Ten and people kept trying to cram stuff into this and then asked me to vote right away without the time to read it, like that's how these dudes operate. That's how they shove in their special interest all the time. And it's like, did you even read the bill? And they're like, it's 1,000 pages. Nobody read the bill. We're supposed to just sign it. Now, this one's not. I think this one is 61 pages. Everyone can get it responsibly read, especially at universities where they have lots of help. Hey, you take pages 20 through 30. Let's go.
Staffer, come here.
Yeah. So I don't know what I think. It's hard to predict this because yesterday, you hear these deadlines yesterday and everyone's trying to act tough about their deadlines and they don't hit them. And they're like, well, it's not really a deadline. It's just, we just want it to be a deadline. So we'll see. They have another deadline today. Again, Ross Dellinger reporting of Yahoo that this morning, a 9 a.m. deadline, they have their take it or leave it deal for the conference commissioners. What's interesting about this, Brady, for us, it's been all this talk. Well, they've got to talk in the SEC and the Big Ten and do all these. Are the Big 12 and the ACC and everybody else, are they just good with it? You never hear about like what Brett Yormark thinks of the bill. Right. It's all SEC and Big Ten. So I'm going to guess that indicates the other players involved are good with it. I don't know if they're, the cap of 19 teams that they're trying to, does that really impact the Big 12 or the ACC? I'm not sure if it does. Does the use of multimedia rights money impact the Big 12, the ACC as much? Probably not. That's the thing. We're getting into these $20 or $25 million salary caps and everything. And I just always wonder when I hear that, I'm like, how many Big 12 schools are raising that kind of money anyway? Think about the new KU crypto deal they just signed for, what is it, $5 or $6 million a year? Is that money in this new system allowed to go to the salary cap? Or would that fall into this thing? Is that a multimedia rights deal that I'm not sure? And that's where it gets complicated. And that's where we have fun making fun here on the radio of the process, but I get it. Like, I get why this is complicated and takes a minute for the people with the most at stake to get it right, to take their time and get it right. I do. I understand that. I just wish there was a way to take all of that stuff and put it in a separate bill. And in the short term, get a bill together that solves the simplest parts of this that are affecting fans and schools and programs being cut and all these other things. Like, can we just get to that part? Can we just get that stuff out of the way now? Because we could implement those things immediately. Those could go into effect right away. And it would help people fall back in love with college sports. But I don't think that's going to happen. It kind of feels like it's got to be all crammed in or nothing. And we're going to need time with it. Like, we can all have our opinions on it when it happens. I would say I generally will just say, you know what, for the fans' sake and everybody in the strength of what college athletics means to us in this country, just take it and we'll deal with what might be wrong with it later. Because they can always go make revisions or pass new bills if something's not working horribly. Like, if some part of this goes horribly wrong, they can go fix it. They can go change the bill and change a new law. So let's just get what we can, kind of has become my thought on it.
I think that's what's so frustrating, not just with this, but with anything or a common frustration I think we all have with Washington and the way things work is that, like, it's taking all this complication and back and forth just to get a vote. We're not talking about like, okay, they do this and they'll pass. We're just saying, like, let's just get a vote, because typically, and kind of going back to the Cali County Fair, and I'm working on a 4-H piece for us, and thinking back to my 4-H days and doing par law and running meetings and, all the Robert's Rules of Order sort of things. And you understand, which is kind of how our government's supposed to be set up. And you kind of think about it in the way that that's how you work through issues, is that you make amendments, you see if this is going to pass. You're basically trying to sell it to the voting body, see if it'll pass. Okay, it doesn't pass. So let's make some changes here so we can see if it'll pass this time. We could never get to that point. We can't even get to just a simple floor vote most of the time. It's pulling teeth just to get to a floor vote on this and so many other issues. So, yeah, that's where this is kind of a microcosm of some overall frustration I feel like we have with the whole process sometimes. It's just like, it's amazing we get anything done because of the way the process works and not being able to just have simple floor votes. And if it doesn't pass, or if it doesn't look like it's going to pass, then you make some changes to make sure it passes. And we just can't get to that point because it's all the hemming and hawing and back and forth and, the special interest at play. In this case, the Big Ten and SEC are the big movers on this, because Jacob, that if the SEC and Big Ten were fine with this, it would have been passed weeks ago, months ago.
Well,
but they're not cool with it because of the financial media sharing revenue parts of it that make it all sticky.
Yeah, there's a few things that make it sticky. And I don't, it's hard. It's hard. Nobody's going to get exactly what they want, I don't think,
right.
except maybe the Big 12 and the ACC. Like, I think what if I know what we want the most? We clearly want the transfer portal to be tightened up the most as fans. I'm going to guess that's what coaches and administrators want the most too. So is that what the people involved in signing off on this even care about remotely? I'm not sure it is. Like, I think there's probably a wide gap between what Greg Sankey is the most concerned with and what you and I are the most concerned with. And that's totally understandable. So I think there are parts of this where everyone's in complete agreement. And I just hope that if this one doesn't get there, that in some capacity we can collectively get there. I don't know what the alternatives are. I believe it was the Big Ten commissioner who said the alternatives are coming up with their own rules, trying to pass through provisions in the House settlement and see if they can't get it through that way. But none of them sounded great to me. And I think when you're talking about the transfer portal, like, that's where we're seeing all these legal challenges, right? Is player eligibility and player freedom of movement. That's the thing that most importantly needs to be shored up through legislation. You can figure out some of this other stuff. Like, if they need to figure out how to utilize their salary cap, do they need the federal government to do that? Or can the commissioners come together and say, we're going to set our own rules. We'll just say, here's what you can and can't do. Right? Here's how you can and can't share your money.
Especially considering
if players want to push back on that, you can say, well, just don't play in our leagues. Go play somewhere else.
Right. And especially the NIL money being mostly kind of private money, it's kind of like, to your point, it's kind of like, well, I think they have authority to do with that what they will.
That's where I think this has hit the roadblock, where it's seemingly hard to see how they get past it, but we'll see. I'll take you through what one prominent writer is saying about the Major League Baseball trade deadline. The Royals keep playing better, Brady. They do. They should have won Monday. They won last night. We'll talk about it as we continue on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
8310 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Do this thing. Go!
Sports Daily is on KFH.
Thanks to Crestview Country Club for being a great supporter of the program. Lots of golf, 36 holes. We're finally about to get some golfing weather back in the mix. Won't be so dang hot here this weekend, and those tee sheets are going to fill up, but you can go play a twilight round like I like to do, maybe after work sometime, get 9 holes in, get 6 holes in, whatever you need. That's the great benefit of Crestview if you're a golfer, is the flexibility there. And if you're not a golfer, they got great tennis, great pool, great restaurant, great bar, great family activities, all set there at Crestview for you. Go take a tour of the facility. Find out why I've been happily there with the family for years now, and why we appreciate their support so much on the program. Take a tour, tell them we sent you. Welcome back into Sports Daily. Brady, it wouldn't be a show without asking you if the Royals are back. They win again. They should have won Monday. They're not going to do much likely here, but they are playing well, which is nice. We get positive news with Bobby Witt Jr.'s injury yesterday. He's taking baseball activity where he could return by this weekend. That's a nice sign and development. But, of course, all attention right now moves to the trade deadline. We are within the week here of getting that done, and really not a ton of movement yet. It comes Monday. The Rangers make a minor move, probably you could say, last night. Inside the division, which I think is the reason I bring that up, and it's interesting. I wonder if I feel like that's a little less taboo than it used to be, trading within the division. The Royals and most teams haven't done anything yet. The big hurdle, Tarek Skubal, we haven't heard anything on. But I'm starting to think it'll be a series of minor moves. We'll see with Skubal. Somebody could still blow them away for Michael Wacha, but what do you expect before Monday?
Oh, man. Well, I mean, first off, to your original question, are they back? I mean, look at it. Only 9.5 back from the wild card now, Jacob. We're in the single digits at least in that race. So that's something to think about. Yeah, it has to be Walker, right? I mean, that's the sexiest sort of trade.
It is.
We're Royals as far as
possibilities. It is. Yeah. It is. We should note Vinny Pasquantino hurt again too, so he's not going anywhere. He's gonna have to just kind of toss this season aside. They're not going to trade him. Yeah, it's Wacha. Here's what Jeff Passan says. So Jeff Passan put out a big kind of all 30 teams where they are, headed, what he's hearing, kind of manifesto as of this morning. According to Passan of ESPN, the Royals' best asset is Michael Wacha, right? That doesn't surprise any of us. I completely agree. But let me read to you what he wrote about this. Unless Kansas City's tack changes, it will hold on to Wacha and fellow starter Seth Lugo. Outfielder Lane Thomas will get traded. The Royals will seek to trade John Schreiber. Anything else is a matter of their appetite to yield team control. If they're willing to do that, Daniel Lynch would join the top tier of available left-handed relievers. They don't want to rebuild. They believe in their core. Bobby Witt Jr., Jack Caglione, Michael Garcia, Carter Jensen, Vinny Pasquantino. We've identified these guys forever. And then they want to complement it with pitching, which is why they're less willing to trade Wacha and Lugo. But he points out this deadline's going to struggle to supply pitching. There isn't much out there. So, Lane Thomas isn't getting you some surefire starter. John Schreiber, the same thing. Are they more willing to trade Daniel Lynch if it brings them back a guy they think could go into the rotation perhaps next year? There will be some interesting things, but, that thing we've been hearing, which is they kind of want to run this back. Brady. I get it. I get it, but I don't get it. It's a really difficult decision because this group hasn't worked for 2 years now. But it's also a really talented group that's hard not to be. I don't think there's any team that's struggling right now that would not trade spots with the Royals and the core they're going to be able to bring back next year to start with.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a difficult thing, especially when you mentioned that as far as in the pool right now, there isn't just a bunch of surefire pitchers that you would trade a whole lot for. And I think that's the other thing too, is that Wacha and Lugo, I mean, the talent is there, no question about that, as far as the talent, especially with Wacha. But what are you getting out there that's like a good replacement, or basically are you just in a spot to where you almost just stay neutral no matter what you do as far as what you're gaining and what you're losing. And I didn't realize this, but Lugo's 36. Waka just turned 35. I didn't realize they were up there in that age.
Oh yeah. That's one of the factors for me. So what are the chances that Waka and Lugo can be what they've been late? Like even Lugo's a little shakier now than he was 2 years ago. Waka, maybe a longer track record as a starter in this league than Lugo, but I don't think they're going to take a step forward next year. If they take a lateral step, you'd be happy about that at their age. And guys pitch into this age in baseball. It happens. So that's the part for me too, where it's like, okay, I get it. I get you don't want to completely deplete your rotation going into next year. But your rotation right now, and I brought this up to TJ, I think yesterday or maybe the day before, like that's a rotation that's not World Series caliber next year at this point anyway. That depends on whether Cole Reagans comes back to what he was when they first traded for him. That doesn't have as much, like Waka and Lugo are great starters in the rotation. You know, it may be number 2 and number 3. Now, Waka's been a number 1 starter this year. I don't want to take anything away from his season. But like if you're talking about like World Series rotation, that's led by Reagans. And we don't even know what's up with him. You know, there's a world, though, that he comes back. Who knows what happens with Chris Bubich? If Bubich gives them, because he's expiring, but he's hurt. What if they could get Bubich back on a 1-year deal? Just like hey, come be healthy and regain some of that momentum. And Kolek comes back from injury. Well, there's 5. And they have Lang at some point coming back. And Luinder Avila's becoming interesting. I do think they have the room to trade Waka. Because I don't think you're going in and it's like Waka versus Skubal in the playoffs, and you're just like, all right, let's go to war. You know, you love Waka and what he's done, but if somebody's willing to overpay for him or pay a king's ransom for him, as that is a tight starting pitching market and there's not much out there, I do still think for the Royals, they can make that trade, take the money that they'll save with him, because I think he makes $18 million a year, and bring back into the offseason something. I think there's a chance they can make it happen. So it's really more about, to me, like, yeah, they don't want to trade Waka. They don't have plans to trade Waka. But man, if somebody knocks on the door and shows you that offer that you can't refuse, I think you still have to make that deal.
And how you mentioned Cole Reagans, I think it's good to mention him again too, because when you really look at it and step away and look at the big picture of this season, boy, what a fulcrum point I feel like his situation has been this season. As far as maybe things can be looking a lot differently if he was healthy and, back to his stuff.
Well, he hasn't been healthy in a long time.
Right. But the idea was, as far as like the upside on what we were hoping for on that.
I don't.
You don't think it moves the needle much?
Well, I don't know if I'm going to ever expect him to be what he was when they traded for him at this point. I don't know how, and this goes counter to the point I was making a second ago. Are we able to count on Reagans at this point to be some ace that we've seen flashes of in the past? He hadn't been able to stay healthy. Can he be? Sure. Should the Royals count on it? It's a risky proposition. It's equally as risky as hanging on to Waka if you're not going to be good enough next year, right? They're both risky in different ways. Nobody has the crystal ball, or this would be really easy, right? If Reagans isn't going to come back and be dominant, then yeah, you're probably not trading Waka. But if you're telling me Reagans comes back and gets back to form, then I'm more willing to trade Waka. So, but they don't know that answer, and they're trying to protect it so that they can. I think the great fear, and it should be the great fear for the Royals, is doing this again next year. Right there, this can't be a rebuild. They should have no interest in rebuilding. We've done that. Okay, we already went through that for way too long, a generation of this team ago. You're in the Bobby Witt Jr. window right now. every single year the Royals play baseball, the goal should be to go to the playoffs and make noise, which is why they're less inclined to trade away good pieces. My question becomes, can you get better next year if you make the trade? And you have to bake in the age of those two guys and whether or not you think they're going to be able to lead a playoff caliber rotation next year. I don't know the answer to that. They clearly don't either. They think they do. If they don't make a trade, we'll know what they think. They think Walker's going to lead, be able to lead them to the promised land next year. He's been fantastic the last 2 years.
Yep. All-star.
I'm willing to accept that. Now, they must trade Lane Thomas. They must trade John Schreiber. They probably must trade Starling Marte. Like, there's a lot of pieces they must trade. If they don't trade Daniel Lynch, man, Daniel Lynch has a chance to be insanely valuable for this team next year. I think Daniel Lynch is the leader in the clubhouse today to be the closer next year, would be what I would tell you if they don't trade him. He's also a lefty, though, and gives you supreme flexibility. His role is critical right now. It's critical all across baseball. He could be the guy that surprises us with what a team would be willing to give up to get him, I think. So he'll be an interesting one to watch. I'm 50-50 on him too. 50-50 on Waka, 50-50 on him. And you got to remain 50-50 because you don't know what the offer is. I don't think either of those players must be traded. If the offer's not there, don't trade them. If the offer's there, though, I'd be shopping them. Let me say it that way. I'd have them out there and say, make me your best offer, but I'd be fine not trading them. Lane Thomas, John Schreiber, those players must be traded. They have to be traded. So I think the Royals will make moves. I don't know what kind of return they'll get. They're more inclined and more likely to get really good players if they take really young players that don't help them right away, which is counter to what they did in the draft, which is counter to what they've done the last couple of trade deadlines. So it's a really interesting place to be. I'll say this. I think J.J. Piccolo has handled trade deadlines really, really well. I think he's done an excellent job since being in charge with free agency and the trade deadline. So I have built up enough trust equity to sit back and watch and be like, okay, let's see how they do this. And we'll look this offseason and decide whether we think that was a good decision or a bad decision. But we're counting down the days now. This weekend is it. We saw sometimes you just need the first domino. Was the Rangers trade last night with the Angels the first domino? Very minor trade. Do we start to see more movement today? Is Skubal log jamming everything? I think that's possible. What happens with Tarek Skubal? You got to go back to like Juan Soto for the last time a player of this caliber was traded. It wasn't that far ago, but like we're talking arguably the best pitcher in baseball here on the market. So you got to sort through that. I get it. Walk could be a heck of a consolation prize right now. So you got to listen if you're the Royals. They play again afternoon baseball today. You'll hear it on KFH. We'll come back. Tim Fitzgerald next hour. We're having some fun here on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on the Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Go in every day and do it really half-assed. That's the American way.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
Look at me! I'm a worthless employee! Give me a promotion!
Oh, good idea, boss.
You disgraceful vagabonds!
Get called a disgraceful vagabond quite a bit. That's just part of the course here on Sports Daily.
What's Max trying to tell us?
Another hour of the show here with you on KFH. Glad to be with you. If you'd like to chime in, 869-1240. I get it. We're still in the summer. We're still in the summer lull, everybody. Me too, man. Me too. Count down the days until we got about one more week after this one of summer before school chaos goes nuclear in our lives. We are counting down the days to a new baby, Brady. The seasons of change are upon us. We told you yesterday, Shreyas Laddha made his last appearance after 3.5 years. Happy to have Henry Greenstein on, though, as our new KU insider starting right away. So we'll have that. You're stepping into a bigger role. We're changing the format of the show a little bit starting next week. Seasons of change are upon us, Brady.
That is true. The Pro Football Hall of Fame game is just around the corner.
Oh, don't even start. I do this every year.
I will watch it.
I get so excited for like the start of training camp, and then I'm good with it for about a week. And then I'm like, oh, can we please just start the season already? Right. Like, I'm so sick of this. We're so far away still from the start of the NFL season. We got a long way to go before the start of the NFL season. Now we're gonna have preseason games and things and storylines, of course, that keep us entertained with the NFL always. We'll get college football a little earlier than we get the NFL. Fantasy sports season kind of comes into focus a little bit. I mean, it's been in focus. I always do it after July 4th. I think most people do it kind of at the turn to August, but that's coming. We're entering a fun time of year, but the summer ain't over. And it always fools us, right? It fools us every time. It gets us. And then we've had the TBT to entertain us for the last few years. Thankfully, it took an interesting turn earlier this week at Coke Arena, but now it's over as well. And here we are. This last little bit as we get ready for things is here. We're going to talk about it all. We've got this. Look, this college sports legislation is something that is totally like this has distracted us so much. We're going into an expanded college football playoff. We're going into an expanded NCAA tournament. Like these massive things are happening, but this other stuff's in the way. It's been an interesting and fascinating time of year. We're going to talk about it all. It's all what's on tap. Brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, celebrating 15 years of pizza and beer made here. Mark your calendars for the celebration on Saturday, August 1st at Wichita Brewing Company West. Back where it all began with live music indoors, 3 new anniversary beers and prizes and giveaways throughout the day. WBC cheers to 15 years. It's interesting. They have an anniversary, 15 years, that's happening Saturday. Today, a double anniversary for our family, of sorts. It's my wife's birthday. Happy birthday to my wife.
Nice. Happy birthday.
Kids are feverishly trying to distract her while they get things decorated for her birthday. Right at this very moment. And it is the 5-year anniversary of HTO Wichita West, the original that we brought in. That's today. She shares that day with her birthday, 5 years. So Wichita Brewing Company, 15 years on Saturday, of course, right across the street from that HTO. I didn't, before we had these reads, I didn't realize we aligned so much in days when we were opening that store, I can't tell you how much Wichita Brewing Company we ate as we'd be over there working. We could just pop over to Wichita Brewing Company here and
right there
have Woo Shock Wheat. My wife will drink a V6 and get a couple pizzas. A lot of that while we were opening that store, but it's kind of a fun collision of days today. Glad to have everybody here. 869-1240 is the number to call. Sports Daily at KFH Radio is the email for you. You can reach us on socials, Facebook, YouTube, X. You can watch us, of course, on 12 News Connected. Lots of different ways to take in the show. We're glad to have you, however it is you do. Now, Brady, this is normally the point where we go to headlines that I missed. Now, that is a critical segment that must continue.
That's true.
In the future. Now, that segment is designed for somebody like me at my age. In reality, it's designed for somebody like you, too.
I know.
But here's the challenge now. Here is the assignment. You must continue. You must continue the tradition. Starting next week, in the opening segment of one of our 3 live hours, we will have and continue a headlines Jacob probably didn't see segment. And that assignment is on you now as we make the transition. You must find them. They can go anywhere. There's no rules on that. You could be pop culture, maybe not comic book illustrators. I would say that might not be good. Maybe not opening packs of playing cards.
Like this one?
You have another. Oh,
yeah,
good.
I got
Okay.
another one. Yeah, I'll open during
Now,
the
Brady
commercial. Let
snuck
you know
in
what I
another
get.
pack of playing cards. He's campaigning off the air to have a segment every day of like, who did Brady? What is it? Who do you pull? What did I
Yeah.
pull?
Yeah,
Who did
the
Brady
sports.
pull today? And
We
it's
can call
like,
it the Sports Daily Poll.
Yeah, no, I listen. There might be an appetite for that. Let us know, listeners, if there are. If there are enough people interested in that, then so be it. I have asked a lot of the co-hosts on this show over the years. Hawaiian shirts on Wednesdays. Now I'm asking.
Which I was
TJ
glad to
did.
see TJ take part in that yesterday. I was so proud.
As his last full week as the full-time host of this show, he did finally concede. I believe his predecessor, Tommy Castor, did the same in his final full week of the show. So eventually we get you there. Brady is a full proponent of Hawaiian Shirt Wednesdays, so nothing to worry about there. No issues there.
Now, quick question,
really
Jacob.
elevate this. Paul Savage, of course, the godfather of Hawaiian Shirt Wednesdays, is a supporter. So we'll have, we'll have those things for you. Man, I'm so fired up though. As we've got these dates in front of us, we're gonna have. We've got confirmed. I can take. We can say some of this stuff to people. These are confirmed. We have Wyatt Thompson rejoining the shows on Mondays. Voice of K-State Athletics, of course. We have Josh Briscoe, our Chiefs insider, back for another season. He'll start on Tuesdays, starting late August, ahead of the season. We'll have Brady, a colleague of yours, James Westling, who covers the Big 12, calls games on television, right, for the Big 12 each week.
For ESPN, yeah. He does ESPN games and some all sorts of things. I think he's done some stuff on Peacock Network, too. He's been all over the place.
He's going to line up to kind of become a Big 12 insider for us and take us through, like, what we saw, what to expect the next week through football and basketball, I think, but football for sure. That starts on Tuesdays in mid-August. On Wednesdays, we mentioned Henry Greenstein is going to step right into Shreyas Lada's role. So looking forward to that. He comes highly, highly recommended. So I think fans are going to really enjoy his segments as we get there. He'll start right away, although I'm not going to tell you an exact time because they also start football camp next week, which is going to make that, whenever he's available. Taylor Eldridge is going to be on the show starting in September. A Shocker insider. Now his ability to get on the show a little later has opened that up. We should have Paul Mills. Now that one's not confirmed, but we're hoping for and don't see any reason unless there's just an absolute conflict in time now that we're not in the 7 o'clock hour moving forward, that Paul Mills will be able to join us starting in the late fall. We'll have, of course, Tim Fitzgerald locked in as always. We also secured, Brady, a betting insider. Now, if you listen to KFH all day, you're going to like this one. Pat Boyle, who does evening shows here on KFH radio nationally through the BetMGM network, he's going to join us each and every Thursday. I love having betting insiders. I especially love having betting insiders on Thursdays to get ready for Thursday night football and the football weekend. Really looking forward to that. Pat and I have worked together just a couple of times, I think, when I was back in the Infinity Sports Network days when I would do some national shifts. He would be in New York while I was on the air. So Pat's great. He'll do a really good job. And if you've heard him on the BetMGM, he knows his betting. So that's coming on Thursdays. And then Friday's always crazy, right? We'll have Jalen Thompson continue with the Royals throughout the baseball season. And then we move into football picks. And TJ will be here to preview the high school sports around the area every week. So it's a great lineup. It's a great lineup. I'm really excited about it. It's the fall. We're all excited about the fall, right? Fall's right there around the corner, but we got to get there. TBT's done. So you and I's assignment as we go to 3 hours live next week, again, 8 to 11, that shift starts Monday, will be to get everybody primed up for these football seasons.
That's right.
I'm an NFL junkie, Brady. I think you are too. We'll spend a lot of time with that. And then the local stories that fall in line. It's an interesting college football season for us because there is so much unknown. But those college camps start next week. I think we're going to start getting some answers to a lot of questions. For K-State, those questions I think we can translate maybe more directly into wins. For KU, we may get the answers to questions and still have no idea what it means on the field. That's what I laugh about this. Each week we'd talk to Shreyas. And it's like, okay, We know who the starting quarterback is.
That's a
what does
start.
that mean?
Right.
How does that move the needle? So we'll have a lot of that kind of stuff. We'll get Tim Fitzgerald's maybe opening, like the biggest things on his mind heading into Cats camp, and we can have that later this hour because we will be joined by Tim Fitzgerald. We'll take you through some of the other headlines. Anything from Chiefs camp of note? There was some talking done yesterday. We'll dig through it. Thanks to Prayer Fire Coffee for keeping us fueled up each and every morning here on KFH. We're coming right back. It's Albrecht and Bowman on a Thursday. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Time 1240.
Time to get busy.
This is Sports Daily on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily here on KFH. Mentioned it is the 5-year anniversary of HTO Wichita West. Let's celebrate, Brady, by giving the people a free iced tea on us. These will be good at that location or in East Wichita or in Derby. And you can get your hands on one right now by texting the keyword tea to the short code 20357. And that'll get you a free iced tea. Get it at the West location, though, if you're over there. Celebrate today. 5 years. Can't believe that. And you didn't talk about a time. You want to talk about a time warp, Brady? You want to talk about an absolute time warp for me? That 5 years? Are you kidding me?
This
That
went by
doesn't
like
seem
that.
possible. Doesn't even seem possible.
And I'll say this, Jacob, it's a great day for a free iced tea. It's going to be another hot one out there today. So
All right, we got one more.
Yeah.
One more hot one to deal with here. And then
this weekend looks good.
It does. This weekend doesn't just look good. This weekend looks fantastic.
It's going to be
This
one of
looks
those like fall things.
As good a summer weekend, right? High 80s, low 90s, like below average temperatures.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what our plans are, my family's this weekend, but it feels like a weekend I am obligated as a man to be outside cooking something. I have, my days are so short during the week of the amount of time I have to do anything. My son he's been on a baseball kick, wanted to watch baseball. He's like, can we go outside and play baseball? And I'm like, it's killing me. This weekend, go outside and play so much baseball. It looks fantastic out there. But yeah, good weekend for some iced tea too. So again, that short code is T. And the word is T. The short code is 20357. More than 25 flavors to choose from. Good luck, everybody. Oh God, Brady pulled cards.
I opened the pack. Yeah, this was a pretty good pull.
Oh, it is not a pretty good pulls. What does that even mean? What do pretty good pulls mean? I don't understand. We
got Cortland Sutton here. That's a decent card. But this is interesting. It's not that it's a Dalton Schultz card, the tight end for the Texans, but I think it's some sort of variant because I wonder if this is like an America 250 sort of thing. It has a different decoration on it.
You said the words, well, this is interesting, but the reality is it's not interesting at all. There's nothing interesting about, I pulled a Dalton Schultz card. What does that mean? Is it worth anything? It's not worth anything unless somebody's buying it. So
I don't know because it has some sort of variant. I just don't know exactly what type. It also got you're a Cowboys guy. Got a Micah Parsons, of course. This Packers Micah Parsons.
God, don't get me started. It's the best trade the Cowboys ever made. I can't wait to start previewing the NFL next week. I can't wait to get your thoughts on the Cowboys. I can't wait to get your thoughts on the Packers for that matter. Like this is it's as interesting as the NFC has been in a very long time. It feels like the power has shifted to the NFC when it has lived in the AFC ever it has lived in the AFC. So
And the East.
I am way intrigued to dig into the NFL season, which will include, of course, here more than anything else, what the Chiefs are up to. We're talking about the season of change in life going on right now as we shift some things around the show and do all these things. It's a bit of a season of change for the NFL, it feels like, too. Starting with the fact that the Seahawks won the Super Bowl, right? If we went back in time to July 30th of 2025, and I told you, yeah, the Seahawks are going to win the Super Bowl, I would have been run out of town. This guy's an idiot. And people already think that anyway, but they'd have had ammunition. This guy really is an idiot. These the Seahawks are going to win the Super Bowl? Come on, get out of here. I don't know if in the NFL we will see some grand shift like we have currently in the NBA, where we see different teams win all the time. It's hard to imagine that in the NFL because of the way the Patriots kind of went right into the Chiefs. And every year there was so much familiarity in the teams that were getting there, right? Like we weren't changing. That was the NBA before the last 7 or 8 years when a different team wins every year. What are the chances we could get that in the NFL? Are we even prepared for that in the NFL? Like, would you be able to wrap your brain around going into every season knowing, man, half the league could win a Super Bowl this year? I can't decide if I think that's incredible or if it wouldn't be as good because you don't have the big evil empires of the Patriots or the Chiefs or, look, to some degree, the Bills. These other AFC juggernauts that have just had a stranglehold on the league for a little while now. It does feel a little more wide open. The Rams are the favorite right now. They've done a ton of crazy things with their roster, and they may add Aaron Donald still, right? Are they the same kind of favorite that the Chiefs were 2-3 years ago? I don't know the answer to that. They didn't win it last year, so I don't know how they could be. They didn't even win their division last year. Or did they? Either way, the Seahawks won.
Yeah, Seahawks won.
So, it is a really interesting time in the league, including for Kansas City. Now, they opened camp yesterday. We didn't have a ton of things accomplished. We did get good news from Andy Reid. That Eric Bieniemy's wife is doing good as can be physically. So that's certainly good news. That will be an adjustment here early on in camp. Andy Reid has dealt with personal tragedy a lot, right? More times than you'd ever have to hope to deal with personal tragedy. And they'll work through this and they'll have everything rocking and rolling, even with Eric Bieniemy having to be away for as long as whatever amount of time that is. But they're installing, I would imagine, a lot of new things on offense, a lot of run-based things, which is one of the reasons Bieniemy is back there now.
And Kenneth Walker back there. Yeah.
That is something. Yeah, that's something we got to watch. Andy Reid was asked about, how Patrick Mahomes has looked. Does he look like himself? Andy Reid's an interesting guy to talk to listen to if you listen to him a lot, because he's very jovial. He has a good relationship, I would say, with the people that cover him, but he doesn't ever give you a ton. He's pretty guarded with his information. He would be if we were ranking how much information is a coach going to give us, he would be near the bottom of the league. Like, he doesn't give you much. He's just generally nice about the way he does it, unless you ask him something that irks him, and then he can get a little stodgy. But, that's fine.
He just gets a little short, but most of the time, yeah, like he'll say a few things, especially if it's a specific question. He'll kind of dance around a little bit and make a cheeseburger joke. Everybody laughs and we move on and forget about the
nobody
question.
Pay attention.
Yeah.
I'm going to wear a Hawaiian shirt so y'all like me and talk cheeseburgers. But at the same time,
he's a master.
I really don't want to be here, and I definitely don't want to be talking to you guys. But Andy Reid's always been great. I've covered a couple training camps. He's great. Yeah, I appreciate the way he handles his business. He said in response to how Mahomes looked that right now they're watching his legs more than anything, his feet. How fast are they moving? We know that's become a huge part of Mahomes' game. He's as effective a scrambler and, quite frankly, a runner at this point up until this injury as we have in the league. So
underrated.
I think that's really interesting to hear him say that's what we're watching right now. Is he going to have that same kind of mobility? So that's what they're watching with him. Cyrus Allen got some run yesterday. They talked a little bit about Cyrus Allen. Remember, now he's the rookie receiver they drafted this year. It's a good time to ask that question. Kudos to whoever did, and they brought it up very early because really that's about all the coaches have had to look at, right? Quarterbacks and rookies report. You can't see much more than quarterbacks and rookies at this point. So, we don't know about Cyrus Allen. He wasn't drafted quite as high as some of the guys that have been drafted by the Chiefs in recent years, but high enough that it's like, well, what are the chances this guy could step in and be an impact guy? I think that's on the radar. They like his talent, but we'll see. He's way down the depth chart. Can he move up the depth chart? We've all said they could have used a wide receiver. Maybe it's Cyrus Allen. I don't know. Of course, Kenneth Walker talked about, and the run game and what they want to do offensively. Let me read you what Andy Reid said about Kenneth Walker, because this has been the Sports Daily number one storyline since the second the season ended, is how they need to change up and run the ball more. He said he thought Walker looked good. He's working through everything. Smart kid, great diligence, wants to know everything, and he's talented. That's kind of a good combination. So it's just a matter of him feeling comfortable with everything. You don't do a lot of run game in this type of camp. You don't do it where you're in no pads and in OTAs, so it'll be good to get the pads on where he can work on that a little bit more. But in the past game, he's been working like crazy. Okay. That's pretty interesting. And then it says, how much do you change what you want to do based on his skill set? And then Andy Reid jokes and says, I will run the ball every down. So they're not going to, he's not going to play his hand, but like Brady, there's zero chance that they are not becoming more, at least at minimum, more run-based than they have been in the past, because everything they've done this offseason tells us that's what they're going to do. And, oh, by the way, your quarterback's coming off an ACL. Like, you don't go spend the kind of money they spent on Kenneth Walker, the kind of money they likely would have spent on Breece Hall had the Jets not locked him up. You don't do those things. You don't invest as much money on the interior offensive line as you have if you don't see enough of the future to say the strength of our offense will be this run game. If the strength of the offense is not the run game, I think it's a problem. Like, on the possible outcomes out there, Brady, what are the chances this is an explosive passing game this year? I would say low. And I would say if they're hitting the volume that they would need to hit to do that, it means the running game is ineffective and they're worse off for it. But it's possible.
Well, last season, the Chiefs were so one-dimensional. I mean, it was basically all on Patrick Mahomes' shoulders the entire time.
Yeah, the backfield was good in short yardage, and that's about it, right? Because and I've gone and I've looked at it and I've listened to people that like grade offensive lines, and I wish I could go back in time and remember where I read that, like, one of the more interesting things a scout or somebody who watches the All-22s consistently was finding with the Chiefs is just how good their run blocking was when they ran the ball, how effective it was. The problem was there was no explosion in that run game. So insert Kenneth Walker here, and now, what was with Pacheco wounded and Hunt aged, what was like a burst of a 7-yard run, now you can envision maybe some house calls. Maybe that becomes a 40-yard run, because that's the kind of player Kenneth Walker is. I think Emmett Johnson, the rookie out of Nebraska, is as interesting a player at training camp as the Chiefs have. I think he could be an absolute factor. Brashard Smith, what's his role now? If Andy Reid's talking about Kenneth Walker and how he's catching passes, you want to talk about fantasy football, Brady? You tell me Kenneth Walker's going to be a 3-down back in that offense, and I'm telling you he'll be one of the best players next year. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the case. I don't know if he's going to be a 3-down back. He's never been a 3-down back. He wasn't that in Seattle. He split time with Zach Charbonnet. I think there's a better chance he's a 2-down back with some explosion and still really effective and great, and they utilize one of these other guys. But maybe. Andy Reid has coached great running backs in the past. I think people forget about how good and effective Kareem Hunt was his rookie year in those early years of the Chiefs. Brian Westbrook.
I was just thinking about Brian Westbrook. Yeah, back in the Eagles days. Yeah, he's always had some good running backs. And he knows how to coach them.
He knows how to do running. He knows how to run the ball. He knows how to make guys highly effective. When did Andy Reid get to Kansas City?
2012? Something like that? Or maybe a little bit earlier?
You know what that means? It means he had a Jamal Charles unbelievable season mixed in.
Yeah, how can we forget about Jamal Charles? And he was a workhorse.
He had, I'm just looking, in 2013, Andy Reid's offense gave the ball to Jamal Charles 259 times on the ground and added 70 receptions, close to 2,000 total yards, and almost 20 touchdowns.
And Kenneth Walker fits that bill, doesn't he?
I don't know if he does.
Charles vibes?
He's never done it before. He's never been a 3-down back like that because he split time with Zach Charbonnet in Seattle. He was drafted that way.
Right. He's built that way.
Brian Westbrook had 368 touches for 2,000 yards and 12 touchdowns combined in 2007 in Andy Reid offense. That season with Kareem Hunt I mentioned, about 1,900 yards, 320 touches, and 11 scores. So you go back to LaShawn McCoy, right? He was an Andy Reid guy. Shady McCoy, right? How long did he have him? He had him. I think he split LaShawn McCoy, but he was, the young LaShawn McCoy was there.
And he got longevity out of him. Deuce Staley.
Yeah. He's had some dudes in the backfield. And so, there's this reputation that, Andy Reid's not going to run the ball. And I'm like, he has before. If Kenneth Walker runs the ball 250 times this year plus catches, it could be really good for this offense. So it continues to me to be offensively the thing to watch. I have shifted. I just at this point expect Patrick Mahomes to be ready to roll and look legitimately at 100% by week 1. That's my expectation now. I don't know if that's your expectation. I don't know if that's a fair expectation, but it's based on everything we've seen. It's kind of my expectation. Mahomes is just going to be Mahomes week 1.
He's looked okay in some training camp clips that's been released and come out. Yeah.
He looks fine. And if they run the ball and they spread the workload, you can ease him into it without even the appearance that you're easing him into it. Right? You're just doing it. So there's that. And then the real questions are going to come. This is where it's going to be very difficult to evaluate the Chiefs this year, in my opinion, on the other side of the ball. They are replacing more than half of their defense. However you want to slice it based on who's going to start and all these things. Their secondary, who knows? We don't know. We know nothing other than Steve Spagnuolo is very good at what he does. And that's an area he's generally very good at what he does. And that they spend a lot of draft capital on that side of the ball. That's all we know. We're taking a lot of faith in that. That will be the big determiner of where do you slot the Chiefs into the NFL this year? Because offensively, I think they have a chance to be differently but very dynamic. Defensively, man, I have no idea.
A lot younger, but that defense was aging out.
But it was insanely good.
It was good. Yep.
So we'll see. Those are Chiefs storylines to watch. We'll have Tim Fitzgerald next segment. I want to know what his story, what is he looking for as camp is getting ready to open? What are the first things Fitz wants to see? We'll have that next on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
KFH. And now, digging deeper with the teams you follow, it's another Sports Daily Insider interview on KFH.
And we welcome in our K-State insider, Tim Fitzgerald. Glad to have you in, Fitz. It'll be the last time in this slot, a little change next week. Brady will be here full-time starting next week. Fitz will move your appearance about an hour later, but welcome back in. Glad to still have you, no matter when it is here on Sports Daily.
I appreciate the added sleep, although I got to wake up early nowadays anyhow. So
yeah, waking up early, just you get old and you got to pee. So what are you gonna do?
You don't know how true all of that is for me.
I listen. We're ready. GoPowerCat.com's ready. When does K-State camp open, Fitz? Is it next week?
I think so. Honestly, I've been so self-involved with my treatments. I don't know that day.
We were talking about it yesterday. Like, we haven't been given, because we were talking about KU and K-State. We like those fine details. So we're not seeing them just yet. It kind of seamlessly transitions from the summer, though. I don't know how much different Colin Klein's official camp is going to look from the work that they've already done. But if we took Tim Fitzgerald or maybe the collective at Go Power Cats, top couple of things that we want / need to see, what are they? Because I don't even know how many questions we have at this point about K-State. We kind of know a lot. So what are we looking for this late summer?
Yeah, you just brought up my topic of I believe it's tomorrow's daily delivery. But yeah, there's a list of things I'm looking for, and I think the first thing I'll look for is how are the lines performing, because they didn't really have a complete picture of their offensive line in the spring because of injuries, and so they just spent a lot of time focusing on trying to get guys who are multi-positional, and then now they're going to weave back in some of those missing tackles and other ingredients that they didn't have in the spring. So that's a huge question mark for this team. And defensively on the line, they had some big departures, whether through the portal or graduation, that there's significant losses that they have to fill. They feel like they did, but you never know until you get into the game. So those are, two things in one that I really am interested in. And also I'm kind of interested in what has Avery Johnson's progression actually been, and will this offense be more suited for him? Because it's become pretty clear now from his comments that he wasn't fully comfortable with the way he was used or what he was asked to do the last few years. And he's very happy to have Colin back. And I think with that said, it's pretty amazing that Avery stuck around. He does love playing in Manhattan, Kansas, in front of family and friends, and he got his head coach to be exactly who he needed. So those are just starting off a couple things I'm really interested in.
It's talking about the head coach of Colin Klein. Back in Colin Klein's days, that was back in the definitely the special teams U days with Tyler Lockett on special teams and, of course, as wide receiver. With Klein knowing that and knowing that environment, knowing the importance of special teams to K-State's season and the way it can be such an X factor in games. How's his approach been on the special teams side of things as far as coaching and working with coordinators? And, how are we looking at what can we expect on the kicking game and just the special team side of things this year with the new leadership?
Added emphasis. All coaches think they spend time on special teams, and some coaches probably think they spend too much time on special teams. My interview for Fighting Ever Fighting, our Friday podcast that'll run up till the start of football season, is with Ty Zimmerman. We talked about this. Ty, of course, was a special teams stud and all-around stud for Kansas State as a safety, played with Colin, that their practices were literally 1/3 of it was special teams. They as a collective team spent 1/3 of their practice on special teams. And he remembers doing downing drills, like meticulous downing drills to try to pin the ball as close to the goal line. He said the amount of time we spent on it for something that happens maybe like 4 times a year was shocking, but we were good at it. And those times it happened, we pinned the opposing offense down. So I think he'll return to that. I think you're going to see him put a lot of emphasis on special teams with Stanton Weber. They both know the value of it, not just in a kind of vague perspective, but specifically to how K-State wins games. And that one extra play in special teams often decides a game because a lot of games come down, particularly in the Big 12, to one play. So I'm really eager about that.
And kind of how they've historically won game. I think any K-State fan's going to be excited. Tim Fitzgerald, go powercat.com, to hear, oh, special teams is an emphasis. It's not even like a cliche with K-State. It's quite literally one of the things that made Bill Snyder great and successful, oftentimes when they weren't maybe as talented as their opposition. But that kind of takes me into the next thing I want to ask about, which is the recruiting of Colin Klein's great superpower. I think maybe you disagree with this. When he was a coach at K-State, was his ability to recruit players,
right,
at maybe a different level than they'd ever seen before. Are we seeing that now? Like, is that continued with him as the head coach?
Oh yeah, I mean it's elevated. He brought in a bunch of dogs, the guys that want to get out and recruit and get after it. And this will be K-State's highest rated recruiting class in a very long time. And it's just a brief glimpse of where they're going because this is their first class. I mean, they hadn't even built relationships yet at Kansas State with a lot of the recruits, and they still accomplished something fairly remarkable. Right now, it's the second best class in the conference. It's going to drop down probably because they're pretty much done, which is very unheard of for Kansas State to be done before summer's even completed with recruiting. Now there'll be some probably decommits that end up needing to be filled, but for now they're full. That's remarkable, and that's a huge change for this program, and it gave them an early start on the next class because they're still behind in that class compared to other established programs.
You know, Pitts, with that excitement, that kind of makes me think about just overall expectations with Coach Klein coming in. I felt like one thing that really hurt last year's team, and this is not a ding on Coach Kleinman at all. I think just things kind of just fell off the rails there, was because there was those expectations going into the season. Then, you know, Iowa State game, the overseas game happens, and things just really kind of unraveled in a way that I felt like was just out of everybody's control, just the way it happened. Going into this season with the expectations of that class, with Coach Klein being in, Avery being back, how's Colin Klein handling the expectations going into this season, and I guess kind of keeping everybody as even keel as possible?
Yeah, that's a great question because I don't know to the extent of the way you frame that, what this team is like, because they all said the right things going to Dublin and even after losing to Iowa State in Dublin. And then we get to media day and Avery said, yeah, it derailed us. We thought we were going to go unbeaten and we didn't from game one, and it just knocks us off the tracks. And we gathered ourselves at midseason, but you can see what putting too much emphasis on one game can do to a program. And guys, that's something Bill Snyder never would let his team do. Yeah, he put emphasis on playing Nebraska or Kansas, but he never let them decide the fate of their season based on that game. And unfortunately, that's kind of what happened last year. They lose that opener in a way that, they didn't feel like they played well. And, all the weirdness with Dylan Edwards started and the distractions piled up and it kind of fell apart. Bill Snyder rarely saw his teams do that, and that's something, if Colin Klein can plug that hole in the system. Chris Kleiman left him a really good program, left him really good players, and there should be an ability to accomplish some stuff this season.
We hope so. Tim Fitzgerald joining us. So if everything goes right, we continue to ask the question, now that we know what we know about Texas Tech, now that we know Brennan Sorsby's not going to be their quarterback, can K-State win this conference?
Yeah, they can. I mean, and it's not just because I'm, being a homer here. go look at the schedule. Go look at that thing.
Man, we are not paying enough attention to the schedule.
Oh.
I am not paying enough attention to the schedule.
This is the most welcoming schedule I've ever seen for a new head coach. It is unbelievably generous. You don't play Tech in the regular season. You don't play BYU or Utah in the regular season. You just skip 3 really good teams. You do play TCU, but I'm never sold on Sonny Dykes. I just never know what he's going to actually turn out with his, quote unquote talent or lack thereof. You do play what's perceived as the 3 worst teams in the conference all on the road. So now you got 3 opportunities to win road games, which is always the most important aspect of winning the Big 12. Or in this case, getting to the championship game, which is, the next step in winning the Big 12. I would expect Tech to be there because they have a similar schedule. They don't play K-State, BYU, or Utah. It's kind of weird. So without a quarterback, established quarterback that they bought, they have some questions about him. But I still think they can overcome with just their talent this schedule. And I think it'll come down to K-State and Tech. And it's just one game. One game can go whatever way you want, and we'll know a lot more about those teams if that does happen. They've played 12 games, and we'll have a greater sense of their identities at that point.
It is such a great situation, Pitts, because you mentioned that even though everybody else is going to frame with Colin Klein, this is a new head coach, but for K-State, I mean, not really. There's a lot of familiarity. It's with that schedule and with Klein's familiarity, it's kind of rare to feel this much calm with the program going into a season with so much being new.
That's a great point, Brady. We've noticed a lot of similarities with Bill Snyder. There's Kleiman and Elko in there. You can see it too, but Snyder is the overriding aspects of his coaching personality, of Colin Klein's coaching personality. And I just don't think Brady, I just totally forgot the question. This is where I'm at with my memory. Give me the topic.
Just talking about just how odd it is for so much new things, quote unquote new, and this much calm going into this offseason compared to last season.
Yeah, I think he's managed the psyche of this team, and he's kind of just laid the groundwork of preparation, just really thorough. And everything he's doing with his team reminds me of so much of Bill Snyder. And that includes, guys, you're going to ask me questions in about 3 weeks about what's going on in camp, and I'll give you the same answer I did for every year I covered this team under Bill Snyder. Well, I'm not real sure. I mean, the submarine has gone under the water, and I don't know what's going on inside the hull. That's kind of what K-State football was, and I expect that with Colin Klein. But because of that, it insulates the team in some ways. And I think I'm optimistic, but guys, I'm just more fascinated to see how this plays out and how much similarity we see with those Snyder teams.
I can't wait for college football. That's all I know. Yeah. Tim Fitzgerald, gopowercat.com. Before we let you go, yes or no, by the end of today, we will have a bill in front of legislators to vote on in this college sports save, whatever it's called, act.
Well, this is where I'm at with the worth of Congress. I'll say no, because they're getting ready to go on vacation, and that's really all they care about. They don't care about us. They don't care about college sports. They care about headlines and getting off work.
There is a optics problem for Congress if they don't. I agree. Tim Fitzgerald, gopowercat.com. Camp starts soon. We'll be ready for it. Fitz, thank you. We'll get our new time slot starting next week. Here we go. All right. We'll come back. We got a little more Sports Daily. Don't go away.